Hey, what's up guys? Rob here from the Horror Night channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. Today's going to be another list video. Jay Super Awesome has a really cool YouTube channel and he has a lot of great content. He gave me this idea, and I've already done 2 videos on it, where you take a certain year and you talk about a certain horror movie from that year. Now, I've talked about 10 horror films from the 2000s, 10 horror films from the 1990s. Now, we're going to do 10 horror films from the 1980s. So you go from 1980 to 1989. This was kind of an easy list, but there are so many great ones out there, and I own a lot of horror films from the 80s. But I actually have a pretty good list here with some honorable mentions for that certain year. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. In the description I will put Jay Super Awesome's YouTube channel. Go check him out, go subscribe, give him some support. Awesome guy. So let's get on with the video. Starting with the year 1980, I picked my favorite horror film of all time, The Shining, Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. Do I really need to talk about this movie, how good it is? To me, this is a horror masterpiece. I just love everything about it. And you know, when the year 1980 pops up, when I think of horror films, this is the very first one that I think of automatically. So that's my pick for 1980, and my honorable mention for 1980 is Motel Hell. It takes all kinds of critters to make Farmer Vincent's fritters. Him and his crazy sister. Oh man, this movie's a lot of fun, and it's got a lot of good humor. Just look at that, him in the pig mask, chainsaw. That chainsaw's huge. Look at that. Look how long that is. Great movie. Moving on to the year 1981, my pick is The Burning. Cropsey with his shears. You could say that is a very unique weapon. Not many killers use that. It's kind of got a Friday the 13th feel to it, but it is a lot of fun. Now for this year I do not have an honorable mention, but I just went ahead and just did my number 1 pick. So moving on to the year 1982, and that is John Carpenter's The Thing with Kurt Russell. Amazing movie. I even like the original Thing, but this one is much different. The effects are great. Kurt Russell gives one of his better performances. So that's my pick for 82. Here is my honorable mention for 1982, and that is Basket Case. Another fun movie. This is the Arrow release right here. If you haven't seen Basket Case, this is definitely one to check out. Moving on to 1983, my pick is Sleepaway Camp. Felissa Rose as Angela. I think I have something you're gonna like real good. You never saw nothing. Great movie. It has one of the most, I want to say terrifying, but just disturbing endings. When you find out that Angela is not actually who she says she is, or who you think she is. Yeah, it's weird, but it really threw me off when I first saw this movie. I had no idea it was going to turn out that way. Great movie. My honorable mention for 1983 is Cujo. Now, there are other films that, well, there's a couple that I like where there's like dogs that attack. There's one called Man's Best Friend. That's a really, really good one. I think that's actually getting a Blu-ray release soon. But this one is probably one of the best. I mean, you got Dee Wallace in there. Daniel Kelly. Ed Lauter from King Kong. Really good movie. There's some really disturbing scenes here too. Moving on to 1984, my pick is Children of the Corn. Crazy Isaac. He wants you too, Malachi. He wants you too. I love the whole beginning scene when they murder all the old people in the cafe, and Isaac's just standing there in the window smiling. It's like, God, you're violent. A bunch of kids take over a town, and you have Peter Horton and Linda Hamilton who, you know, basically come into the town and they got to survive against these kids. So, really awesome movie. My honorable mention for 1984 is Ninja 3: The Domination. This is like a martial arts horror film. I mean, the whole beginning is a ninja killing people. He's using his swords, his sais, and his ninja stars, and he's killing police officers, golfers. I mean, this guy is just taking everybody out. I remember seeing this at a young age. This is a very cool movie. It's like a ninja horror movie. I definitely recommend this. I had this movie on VHS, and then they had a really cool DVD version, and then, you know, of course, Scream Factory released it, and I couldn't wait to get my hands on it. So that's an honorable mention. Moving on, 1985 is, of course, The Return of the Living Dead. This is in my top 5 favorite zombie films of all time. A lot of fun. Directed by Dan O'Bannon. Yeah, this movie has different kinds of zombies that, you know, you can't shoot them in the head. You can't even burn them. They try burning them, but all that stuff gets over everything, and they come back to life pretty much. And the limbs come after you, and, you know, very different kind of zombies. My honorable mention for 1985 is A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. This movie gets hate, and I don't know why. I think this is one of the darkest Freddys. He's very dark in this movie. If so, more than the first movie, because in this one he actually talks a little bit more, but that pool scene is one of my favorites where he starts killing kids. But I like, you know, even the beginning when he's on that bus and he's driving really fast, and this movie's great. Freddy's Revenge. A dark Freddy. You know, when the remake came out, people were like, oh, the remake is something different. We get a dark Freddy. It's like, have you seen Nightmare on Elm Street 2? Obviously you haven't. So, that's my honorable mention for 85. Here we get to 1986, and I picked The Hitcher. Rutger Hauer, C. Thomas Howell, Jennifer Jason Leigh. This kid picks up a hitchhiker, and this hitchhiker is pretty much a serial killer that follows him around everywhere and tries to kill him. It's basically like a cat and mouse movie, but excellent. Honorable mention for 1986 is Critters. An amazing horror film. These little creatures that are like, they have like needles, like porcupine things that they roll in a little ball, and you know, they can paralyze you, and they have sharp teeth, so they bite you and stay. They're just really, really cool. It's got, what's his name from Jason Goes to Hell? He was in that movie. I think Emmett Walsh. Emmett Walsh? I think that's his name. Critters. Moving on to 1987, my pick is, of course, The Stepfather. Terry O'Quinn. Of course, you know, he was very popular in the show Lost. It was cool to see him in that show as one of the main characters. But he is very, very good in this movie. A lot better. He's a lot better than Dylan Walsh, that's for sure. But in the remake. Who am I here? Very good film. Honorable mention for 1987 is Hellraiser. Cenobites, Pinhead himself. Doug Bradley is Pinhead. He'll tear your soul apart. I don't even need to speak on this movie. You know how good it is. Moving on, 1988, we have Phantasm 2. The Tall Man and His Balls. This is the Scream Factory edition. In ways, there are, you know, scenes that are better than the first Phantasm. Even though my favorite is the first one. But the second one is probably my second favorite. Yeah, it's definitely my second favorite. So, Phantasm 2. Honorable mention is The Unnameable, and now I've talked about this movie a lot on my channel. It's amazing. Old school film that I saw back in the VHS days, and I've loved it ever since. Now we got a Blu-ray release, and that's awesome. Now, for 1989, we are going to end with Pet Sematary. I don't have an honorable mention for 89, but I thought this would do well enough. Pet Sematary is one of the creepiest films I've ever seen in my life, versus any horror movie. This is like one of the creepiest. And, you know, there are scenes that I'll never forget. Gage getting run over by a semi. You know, the maid hanging herself, and Pascal getting hit by a truck, and they're dragging him into the hospital. There's just there's a lot of things. It's crazy. I can't believe they're remaking it. I give every movie a chance. I didn't really care for the trailer for the remake, but I'm going to watch the movie regardless, and I'll judge it after that. But I just don't think it's going to be anywhere near as good as this one. We'll see. All right, well, there you go. Those are my 10 picks for the 1980s. And again, I'd like to thank Jay Super Awesome for giving these ideas. You know, I found him through Horrific Nightmares JM. So I just want to thank these guys, you know, really awesome guys that know a lot about horror movies. And I'm really honored to you know, be a part of the horror community and talk with some of you guys, and you know, just talk about movies. I mean, that's what I love to do, is talk about movies, go over detailed ideas and scenes over films, and just talk about them. It's a lot of fun. I like listing movies, and that's why I like doing these, because they're like list videos. So alright guys, like I said, hope you enjoyed this. Subscribe for more content, drop a comment, leave a like if you liked the video. I'll be back with more, and if you have any list videos ideas, you know, like any ideas that you want me to do as far as list videos, like top 10 whatever this, like leave them in the comments. I'm always open to new things. So anyway guys, go subscribe to Jay Super Awesome, link in the description. This is Rob signing off, and I'll see you guys next time.